You wake up and they're gone. Maybe it's the glow of a phone screen. Maybe the door just clicked. You ask what's going on, and they say, I couldn't sleep. Stop overreacting. But what if it's not insomnia? What if it's infidelity with a bedtime alibi? Narcissists don't just lie. They turn everyday moments, like sleep, into tools of manipulation. And when they cheat, they want you doubting yourself before you ever doubt them. Let's break down the 7 ways narcissists use sleep as their ultimate cover, and how to see it before it destroys your peace. The "I just couldn't sleep" excuse. At first, it seems innocent. They toss and turn, they scroll, they get up. They say they're anxious, restless, stressed. But here's the twist. Their late nights aren't about insomnia, they're about secrecy. They're glued to their phone, but when you ask, just emails, nothing important. They step outside or into another room, but their location history says otherwise. And when you question them, you're the villain. Why can't I have trouble sleeping without being accused? They flip the script, so you stop asking questions. Some even pick fights before bed, just to storm off and get alone time. That's not really alone. They're restless only when you're around. Their phone is suddenly off limits at night. They're defensive about nighttime habits. Sleep isn't just rest, it's intimacy. It's the one part of the day where your guard is down. Your mind drifts, your body softens, and trust becomes unconscious. But narcissists don't like vulnerability. Not yours, not theirs. So they turn sleep into a mask. When you're asleep, they're free. When you're awake, they're scheming. You think you're sharing a bed, but really, you're sharing space with someone living a double life. They don't just cheat behind your back. They cheat while you're dreaming of a future with them. The late-night self-care routine. They say they're focusing on health, long showers, night walks, solo meditations. But here's what's really going on. The bathroom becomes a fortress, with their phone in hand. They emerge looking lighter, almost relieved, and you're left wondering why. Their walks always happen at the same time, and always alone. They start working out late at night, but there's no sweat, no gym bag, and no proof. And when you bring it up, why don't you believe in self-care? You're paranoid. I'm just trying to relax. They gaslight you into feeling guilty for catching on. Red flags. Night routines always involve isolation. They want privacy, especially with their phone. They encourage you to have your own routine to distract you from theirs. The separate bed strategy. Out of nowhere, they can't sleep next to you. Snoring, back pain, I just sleep better alone. But this isn't about comfort. While you're alone in bed, they're wide awake with someone else. The excuses change, but the distance stays. They sleep soundly in the guest room, but stay up all night. They avoid cuddling, connecting, or even being near you. The midnight work excuse. Suddenly, they have late-night deadlines, emergency calls, projects that just can't wait. But let's be real, why does work only happen after dark? Who are they really calling at 2 a.m.? Why do they get defensive when you ask? This isn't about productivity, it's about creating distance. Work becomes a shield you can't question. They're always busy when you need connection. Their stories don't line up. The post-cheating sleep patterns. Ever lay next to someone who felt like a stranger? Not because of silence, but because of the kind of stillness that screams. You feel it in their breath. In the way they lie so still it feels rehearsed. You ask what's wrong, they say it's in your head. But your body knows. Your gut knows. Sleeping next to a narcissist means sharing a bed with secrets. You're close in space, but galaxies apart in truth. One night they barely sleep. The next, they crash hard. And in between, sudden affection, random gifts, over-the-top kindness. But it's not love. They're trying to distract you from the betrayal. They act extra sweet, so you stop being suspicious. Their behavior changes drastically overnight. They oscillate between exhaustion and energy on their terms. Affection feels timed, like a performance. Here's what one survivor told me, and maybe it sounds familiar to you too.
I remember waking up at 3 a.m. and he wasn't there. I checked the living room, empty. His phone was gone. When he came back, he said he was out thinking. But the next day, I found a receipt for a bar 20 minutes away. I still remember how cold the sheets felt when I laid back down, like even the bed knew I was being lied to.
Sleep. For most of us, it's a way to rest and recharge. But in the world of narcissistic abuse, sleep can turn into a weapon. Narcissists don't always sleep because they are tired. They sleep to escape, to avoid, to control. Missed events, ignored texts, hours in bed while responsibilities pile up. And when you ask why, total silence. But underneath it all, it's a message. You don't matter enough for me to show up. Sleep becomes a form of passive punishment, a quiet protest wrapped in exhaustion. And when they wake up, they're not just rested. They're recharged and ready to seek attention again, often by stirring up chaos or playing the victim. In some cases, they'll even use oversleeping to get sympathy or make others pick up their slack. It's not laziness, it's calculated. With narcissists, even sleep isn't just sleep. It's a stage, a shield, a strategy.
The gaslighting through sleep tactic. You ask about their late nights, and suddenly you're the problem. You're overthinking. You need help. They want you to question your sanity, not their behavior. They use sleep as the smokescreen. The more confused you feel, the more control they have. Every concern you raise gets flipped on you. They avoid real answers. They used to be night owls. Now they're too tired. Too tired for intimacy, too tired for conversation, too tired to care. But their exhaustion only shows up when you want connection, disappears when they want freedom. They nap after sketchy nights out. They fake fatigue to avoid answering questions. They blame health issues, but only when convenient. Always tired when you need them, energized when it benefits them. They use sleep as a wall to block emotional closeness. Conversations always get postponed until they never happen. You finally speak up, you ask the question, and suddenly everything shifts. You're just insecure. You always ruin a good thing. You don't trust me, and that's your issue. Some explode, some shut down, some love bomb so hard it leaves you dizzy. But here's the truth. If someone cared about your peace, they'd offer clarity, not chaos. The way they react when you ask for honesty, that is your answer. If their sleep habits don't make sense, pay attention. Narcissists count on your confusion to keep control. But once you see the pattern, you take that power back. Have you seen these signs? Drop your experience in the comments. Let's break the silence and help others wake up too. Like, subscribe, and share if this hit home. You deserve answers, you deserve peace, and most of all, you deserve the truth.